New year, same old me. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamie Wolfer. If you haven't been here before, I'm your online wedding planner. And last year I did this video where I did trend predictions and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was super, super fun. And I think a few of them came true. I think a lot of them came true. I think bows weren't as big as I thought they were going to be. I had bigger visions for that. And we're doing it again this year because there's some really good trends that I think are on the rise and we got to talk about them. And a big shout out to our favorite Generation Tux for sponsoring this week's video. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Disclaimer. If you're new, you don't know that I love my disclaimers, okay? Because otherwise I'll get the comments like, trends are trendy for dumb for a reason. That's fine. You don't have to follow any of these, okay? I find these videos fun. I love putting them together and I love kind of looking at new trends, especially because this is what I do for a living. So I'm looking at wedding after wedding after wedding, you know? And so every once in a while, I think it's fun to talk about upcoming trends. However, you should not design your wedding just to be trendy. That's not the intent of this video. It's just to inspire you, give you a couple of ideas, and really so I can have an I told you so moment at the end of the year. You know, when I'm like, yes, remember how I said that was going to be a thing? And it's definitely a thing. But I didn't come up with these trends on my own. No, I scoured the interwebs and realized that there were a couple of big hitters out there that were all kind of calling the same things. And you know what? I totally agree with almost all of them, except for one. There's one trend that No. Design has a way of repeating itself, just with a little freshening up every time it circles back around, except for maroon walls. I would love to say that they're not coming back, guys, but I think people might start doing them. And that's something I experienced in the 90s, and it still kind of haunts me, but then someone's going to do it, and it's going to look chic and cool, and then I'm going to want to do it. Trend prediction number 1, 90s glam. I think we're going to see this come out in a couple different ways. Some weddings are going to have a little monochromatic moment. We're still going to be playing with a lot of those metallics to add some visual texture to the design. I also think we're going to see some more drop waist designs, and that was really popular in the 90s. And there was also a lot of sleek moments in 90s wedding dresses that I think are going to make an appearance today as well. This glam could also be displayed through really luxurious lighting elements. And now that's not going to be something that most of us on the budgeted end are going to be adding in, but we're going to see some of those high-end ones with really ornate chandeliers, or maybe something like a little bit more moody Gatsby kind of moment, a little bit 30s, but also has a little bit of that 90s feel. I might be making these words up, but you get what I'm saying. Second trend I think we're going to see is Nancy Meyers neutrals. Here's what that is. Do you know who Nancy Meyers is? She makes some of the coziest looking kitchens I've ever seen in my daggum life, okay? She's a filmmaker, she's directed, she's produced, she's written, but what I think is her greatest achievement of all time is her design eye. Okay? And she's done some pretty epic and incredibly cozy films, such as The Holiday, Parent Trap, Something's Gotta Give, and my favorite, Father of the Bride. And Father of the Bride 2, which I might argue is better than the first. But what she tends to do in these homes, especially in the kitchens, is create this cozy lived-in look. And I think we're gonna see that played out a lot in weddings as well. One, I think we're going to see a lot of color palettes that are really warm, really neutral, and kind of layered on top of each other instead of having striking hues across the other end of the color spectrum. I actually found the 1990s color of the year, or color of the decades, from Sherwin-Williams, and look how beautifully Mocha Mousse, the Pantone 2025 color of the year, works with these colors. You see what I'm saying? So we're just kind of layering these soft tones. I think we'll see that applied with tablecloths, with linens, with napkins. I think we'll see that played out in florals. I also think we're going to see something kind of cute. We're seeing a lot of residential style tabletop, and that's where we're gonna have maybe more of like a tiny little lamp that you'd see in those Nancy Meyers kitchens. See, I'm not making it a stretch. It's a Nancy Meyers wedding style, okay? Neutral colors, cozy lighting. Take this picture for example. All of these neutral soft tones kind of layering over themselves, and sure, this one leans a little bit more pink than the Sherwin-Williams colors that we saw, but I think you kind of get the picture here. One of my favorite trends coming up for 2025 though is fine art jewel tones. Here's what I'm talking about. Rich greens, beautiful deep purples. I've loved jewel tones weddings for a long time now, but I think this fine art aspect of it is going to be huge this year. And I'm speaking it into existence. I hope this is huge. Please take this idea and run with it. I want it to be clogging my Pinterest feed so intensely that I see nothing else. Just kidding. You can do whatever style you want. I just really like jewel tones and this fine art idea, okay? And here's why I think that's the case and how I think it'll flesh itself out. In homes, we're starting to see a lot of returning to this kind of stuff. Warm, vintage-inspired old paintings. Look at things like Hearth and Hand and Studio McGee, and you'll see that we're seeing these warmer plaids, big landscape things, you know, look at me being trendy, those sorts of things. And I think we're going to start to see that influencing and leaking over into the wedding space. There's actually an influencer that I follow that I think did this really beautifully in her wedding in October of 2024. From really rich burgundies to gorgeous greens, I think that her wedding embodies this style of what I'm talking about. I mean, we're talking like European busts, like the bust, the head bust, you know, not the other ones, that would be weird. almost like an antiqued color palette for all of her florals. But my top 3 favorite things that she did was include a gorgeous wallpaper as a backdrop, which I totally want to do as a video. I think that would be epic. Are we into doing a wallpaper backdrop video? Give me a yes, please. Never mind. I think I'm probably going to do it anyways. Thanks. And also including a forest scene on her envelope liner inside of her invitations. I don't even know if I can find this post on her Instagram. I just know because I follow her because she's really funny. MB, you're never going to see this, but on the off chance that you do, you trendsetter, I hope everyone copies you in 2025. Thank you for being here. And then lastly, this particular part of this trend excites me so greatly. And this actually works for a bunch of different styles. I just really like it in this capacity, but I think we're going to see it across different color ranges and themes, etc. And that is produce on your table. You may not know this about me, but I charcuterie so hard, okay? I am known for my epic charcutes, okay? I have grapes dripping down from multi-tiered systems. I love a good, droopy, textural charcuterie. I also love to include a lot of fruits and vegetables because I think they're gorgeous, but I also want it to have a pretty color palette. I'm not extra, okay? Everyone else just is not doing enough. So when I saw this trend up and coming of people putting food like as a part of their display, I said, yes, ma'am. I said, this is perfection. I said, you get snackies for your eyes and for your mouth. Okay. You get to enjoy the enrichment of how gorgeous that looks. And then you have something to eat while you're waiting for dinner. I love everything about this. Yes, that means that the centerpiece is not permanent. Okay. At least parts of it. Like really deep purple grapes to beautiful pears. Oh, I just love everything about this. Pomegranates. Really bringing back that burgundy style, really honing that in. I just love so many things about this, and I think you should put food on your tables. Next 2025 trend I think we are absolutely going to be seeing is grooms stepping it up and stepping out. I think they're going to start paying a lot more attention to what they're wearing. And I think they're going to want some style independence, maybe a little pop of color, something unique about their suit, or something that makes them stand out from the rest of the wedding party. For all those who've been hating on the 2-dress trend for brides at weddings, I hate to break it to you, but we're also now starting to see a second look for grooms as well, which can get a little spendy, right? So that's why I love Generation Tux. I absolutely love them. There's a reason that they're the only suit company that I've been working with for literal years, okay? They have over 200 accessories, from shoes to cufflinks to the amount of pocket squares that they have. It's insane. So you get this great base, this great shape, these suits that fit incredibly well, and then have the option to swap in or swap out whatever you want to truly customize and individualize your look, while also conveniently still maintaining style consistency. So it's not all over the board and not everyone's like completely mismatching, but we're really incorporating some fun moments in the groom's attire. I highly recommend that you take advantage of their free home try-on. It's where you go in, you put your information into their algorithm, and they send you a free suit to try on, judge the fit, see how it works for you, try the accessories all together, and really get a chance to get your hands on it. Because as we're seeing grooms want to be more involved, we want to give them the opportunity to do so. So that's why I think a free home try-on is genius, because you literally pay nothing. You don't even pay shipping. They ship it to you for free. You ship it back to them. Nothing. You pay not a dime, and you get to put this whole experience together. My personal favorite suit from the rental side of things, because you can also purchase from them as well, is this hunter green moment, which is another one of the trendy colors. Remember the jewel tones that we were talking about? Green. Green is my favorite color, if you couldn't tell. I love it so much. And I think this one is just rich enough to like have moodiness to it, but not so dark that it's like, you know, almost black green. Like it's a true green. It's whether you're looking for a little pop of color in a pocket square, which they have like 190 of, 170, sorry, something like that. I can't even keep track. It's insane. Or you want to go for a unique color for the suit itself. Or if you want 2 looks, but you can't be bothered to buy 2 different suits, then renting is going to be a fantastic option for you. So if you or your fiance are getting real excited about putting together some sort of fun look for your wedding day, I highly recommend checking out their free home try-on. Next trend that I'm calling for 2025, color wheel collage. Like we already talked about the neutrals, then we have the fine art inspired, right? So like the rich tones. Not only is Brides calling this, but Pinterest is as well. Unexpected red. Cherry, pops of vibrant moments. Like this could be happening. We could be doing this. Now, this, of course, can be incorporated into different color palettes, or there's this one gorgeous photo, I think I saw it on like brides.com or whatever, where the bride is wearing like a faux shag, like shawl jacket thing situation. It's red. Stunning. Bold red lip, live for it. We're also seeing brides.com and Minted. I didn't realize they did this. They do a color of the year, and theirs is called Verona Sunset. And seen on its own, I'm like, that's a little intense. I don't know about that. But seeing it blended into some color palettes, I'm like, all right, that's nice. You're just a little intense by yourself. You need some friends around you to help you calm down just a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how that one fleshes out, because I'm not quite sure. It's a pretty intense orange. And terracotta / rust has kind of been sitting in the hot seat for several years now, so it'd be interesting to see if people shift away from that to something a little bit more highlighter vibrant. Can you tell I don't like the color? Sorry, I don't. It works with others, but not on its own, okay? And that's not even the trend that I don't like, okay? Another color explosion that we're gonna see is in cakes. Lambeth piping cakes. Really intricate, really frilly. We could also see this in a neutral capacity as well, but I think people are going to start playing with their icing. We've gone really simple with cakes for a really long time. That modern clean edge, whether it's fondant or buttercream, we've seen smooth cakes happening for quite some time now. So I think people are going to get a little bit more excited, right? And get a little piping action on. Just lots of bloops, you know? So I think we'll see it both colorfully. That's like the Rococo revival that Pinterest is talking about. We'll see that at weddings for sure. And then we'll also see those done in a more neutral capacity, which will elevate the look of it. In my opinion, I think the bright, colorful one is very fun, right? But if you want a little bit more of an elegant look, that could fit into the other styles that we were talking about. 90s glam, 90s Nancy Meyers neutrals, which is it's a working title. Fine art inspired, those cakes would work with all of those designs. This trend we can see in a lot of different capacities, in any different color, doesn't matter. We're gonna see a lot more drapery, which honestly, not my favorite, but a lot of people are into it. We're also going to see couples playing with textures, with linens, with layering things. And you guys know how I feel about textures. I think we are going to see a richness come back to tablescapes, which is why I like the idea of the drapey grapes, right? Because that adds visual texture. And 2025 will be the year for Canva and Cricut. We're going to see a lot more branded weddings. I'm calling it. The internet's calling it. We're going to see themes spread across throughout weddings, which I love. I love having a font for someone's wedding. I think it's one of the greatest decisions you can make for your wedding. That might be an exaggeration, but I feel really strongly about it. Could you imagine? So your save the date and your invitations and your signs at your wedding are all the same font. Stop it. So for those of us that are crafty and DIYers, we see opportunity here that we could be making things with our Cricuts. So we could put together a design on Canva, right? Export it and cut it with our Cricut machine. And you are going to have the most branded, graphically beautiful wedding of all time. Also, it's been a hot minute since I did a Cricut video. Should we do one of those? I feel like we should do one of those. This is important, especially because if that's going to be the trend for this year, I put my money where my mouth is and go be trendy. You should listen to me. I'm wearing lots of gold jewelry. This trend is a carryover from last year, but that's going to be paparazzi style photography. I think we're still going to be seeing a lot of that bright flash, a lot of those blurry photos, those kind of movement, having a lot of fun with those. And of course, I don't think film is going anywhere. I think we're still going to enjoy seeing a lot of that. And then last but not least, and I say this with my whole heart and my whole chest, I do not like serpentine tables. I don't like them. Have you seen them when they're like little mini round tables clustered together and someone's back is going to be like next to someone's plate? I don't like it. I don't. It's impractical. It's weird. It's pretty to take photos of until you have to sit at it. So I'm so sorry if you're doing serpentine table. I'm so sorry. You do you. Remember, you don't have to just follow trends to follow them. This one gives me like an ick. Gives me like an itch in my brain that I cannot scratch. I don't care for it. So that's what we have for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. What is your favorite trend that you predict seeing in 2025? But also, how are you designing your wedding? I would love to hear all about it in the comments. Get on down there, type it up. I want colors. I want textures. I want fonts. Give me what fonts you're using, please. Jamie has a thing for fonts. We're deeply discovering in this video. If you haven't done so already, jump on down there, hit that like button, and subscribe to this channel for more tips and tricks for the modern day bride. I don't know why I did finger guns. Thank you so much, Generation Talks. Put those away for sponsoring this week's video. I adore you to pieces. Don't forget to check out the free home try-on so you can put together your own custom little suit moment and make sure it looks super good on you before the big day. And until next week, bye guys.